Hey guys, Paul here from Running Injury Free Revolution, and we've had a few questions about runner's knee and how you can start to tackle that. And I wanted to look at foam roller today because a lot of runners will already use a foam roller, but what I see is oftentimes it's really good to understand what you're trying to achieve with your foam roller because technique is really important. So we'll just grab Ange and we'll get her down. Foam roller. Basically with a foam roller, what you're trying to do, guys, is you're trying to be aware of your anatomy, the structure of what you're trying to release. So there's two things that you're thinking of when you're, as a runner, that you're trying to target. The first are your trigger points, those little knots in your muscles. So you know when people really struggle with like sore sections on the foam roller, they're your trigger points. So you can start to understand that map. The second thing you'll want to know about is the connective tissue, the glad wrap around the muscle. You see that around red meat, that white fibrousy type of tissue. So if you want to release that, it's a function of pressure and time. So all of our elite runners, what we'll do is a systematic fascial release to really start to optimize their body. You can approximate that with your foam roller. So with an ITB, we're going to start high on a little trigger point. So basically, right? Yep. So Angie's on a trigger point now. So when she's trigger pointing, So that's pressure, and she just sits on it. So you put pressure on the trigger point, it'll start to back off, it'll release. Then she'll shift and start to use this fascial technique. So slow, so deep pressure and really slow. So it's a fascial release. Thank you for the next point. Yep. So next point, she's on the next trigger point. So now she's trigger pointing. So from a technique perspective, you can do this. Trigger point, fascial release slow, trigger point again, and then you can go up again. And they're pretty close together. So you can tell Angie's on the next one there. So she's picking that up. I would run right down to the knee. And for your ITB, you're thinking about your little nest of trigger points. So from your map perspective, as an intelligent runner, you're aware of the little nest high, then there's a real nasty little nest halfway down, and then there's one just above the knee. There's also little sensitive ones in between that, but they're your primary ones, okay? The other thing you want to know, target with your runner's knee, is that you basically don't want to just do ITB. You want to start sort of expanding your search. So I would usually do lateral, I do anterolateral, posterolateral. So sort of the front outside quarter. So she's going to start high again, and she's just rolling in, trigger point, sit on that, and then slowly roll up, fascial release, and then trigger point again. So she's still putting that map together in her head. She's becoming a smarter and a smarter athlete. So she'll roll this anterolateral, the front sort of outside quarter, and then we'll just tip you back, Ange. And we're going to get this posterolateral, that outside quarter through there. So again, trigger point, you right? Okay. And roll it through. The other thing with your foam roller is watch your pressure. So see how Ange is really guiding pressure with that arm and then this leg. So if she needs more pressure, you can actually take that off. So you can get really pretty intense, or she can really back it off. And again, as you get better and better and better, you'll guide that a lot nicer. When you start on a foam roller, people go, oh, ow, 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 people screaming and yelling. As you get really good, you should know that you're on it, but you shouldn't be in agony. And you know, that way you'll do it more frequently. So I'd spend 8 to 10 minutes on a foam roller picking up ITB, and I'd do that probably sort of 3-4 days in a row. Then I'd give it a rest. And then I'd come back to it. So start reading what your body likes as an athlete as well. So guys, get into that. That'll really help the tracking of that kneecap for people that have runner's knee. A really important little start. We can get more and more systematic as your skills improve as well, and we'll start to show you how to progress that type of stuff. So get going with that. Comfy at all times. If there's any pain, stop. You know, if you have ongoing symptoms, get to your healthcare professional. But yeah, have a go with that. Guys, I'm Paul from Running Injury Free Revolution. Check us out at rifrev.com.